fights. Johnny's 58, chasing the lights. Both had battles that brought them low, but they found a way to steal the show. Health concerns were weighing them down till they found a path that turned it around. Carnivore diet, they took the lead, finding strength in the promises they keep. Now they're living wild, living free, healing body and mind. Just wait and see. Tune into the truth every single week. Real talk with Brian and Johnny. That's the peak. 8 p.m. on YouTube. Gather near. Uplifting vibes. Let's give a cheer.
All right. Hello, everybody. It is already Wednesday evening. With Labor Day being on Monday, I'm all messed up. At first, I thought it was Tuesday. And then I'm like, wait, it's Wednesday. We got our show tonight.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing great, Brian. It's good to see you again. How was your Labor Day weekend?
It was good. Outside of, was it Friday? I think it was Friday. My pellet grill officially died. It's been running on its last legs for a while. I replaced the control panel in it some few months back, and it's got no power at all now. So it's completely dead. So I just ordered a new
Time for an upgrade.
grill. Yeah, I ordered a new grill, and it's supposed to get here in a couple days, I think, and I got to put it together. But it was cheaper that way than go into a store and buy one that was already. So that's how I did it. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I worked Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And Monday was kind of slow, so I ended up only working a half a day. So it was pretty good. Had a little half a day off. Wife and I went for a 2.5 mile walk. We started walking together. I got the wife up going out walking with me. So came home from work a little early, and I said, put some shoes on. We're going for a walk. And she jumped up, put her shoes on, and we went to a local park and kind of walked through the woods on this trail and around a pond, and had a great time. So other than working, getting that walk in was amazing. So pretty good.
Wow, that's great. All right. So our topic for tonight is a bit different. It's a special one. It's Carnivore YouTube Awards, and we have a few categories. I think we have 6 different categories, and we're each going to give our award winner in each category. We don't know, like, I don't know who Johnny picked for the different the winners of the categories, and he doesn't know who I picked. So we'll both find out at the same time. But before we get to that, I want to start saying hi to some of the people that are in the chat. So Paul is here. Hello.
Hey, Paul.
Rick. Don. Hello.
Hey, Don.
Main Runner. Hello. 40 more is here.
Yep, 40 more.
Papa Carnivore.
Peter, that's Peter, right?
Hello. Yep, that's Peter. Rick is quacking already.
Of course.
Kooky Carnivore is here. Hello. And
hello,
we got Karen.
Hello from North
Florida
Carolina.
Sunshine. Okay. Yes. What's that?
Down there with
Someone
Rick.
from North Carolina.
Down there with Rick.
Blah, blah. Oh, Florida. Yes. Yeah.
No, that was me. She said hello from Maryland. I said hello from North Carolina.
Oh, from North Carolina. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Okay. So I think I got to say hello to everybody that was in the comments. So let's go straight into the first category here and just get right off the bat. Let's get started. So the first one here is Best Small Channel. This is less than 10,000 subscribers. So I'm going to let you go first.
All right. Like I said, Brian, you haven't seen mine and I haven't seen yours. Answers that is. And I would encourage other people, if you guys have been to Brian's his spreadsheet that he made with all these ones on there, or if you have one that you just want to mention, go ahead and put it in the comments. We'd love to see that. But my small influencer, and this is a guy that I have just fallen in love with this guy. I found him maybe about 2 months ago. His name is Dave Reed. His channel is Fuzzy Road to Health. And this guy's lost a couple 100 pounds, maybe 250 pounds. He went through a terrible experience recently where I think his apartment complex he lived in burned down and he was displaced, and he stayed the course and he did fantastic. So if you guys haven't checked out Fuzzy Road to Health, Dave Reed, give him a look. He's a very entertaining and a very inspiring guy. I love him to death.
Yeah, that is a good one. And by the way, as we're giving our picks, we want you to give your picks in the comments as well.
Absolutely.
And I did see one in here already. Paul said semi-retired Bob. That's definitely a good one. I will give my pick in a second. Carnivore Junkie is here, so I want to say hello. Carnivore Junkie.
Hello.
Galveston, Texas. Okay. I'm gonna put mine in the comment here, and then I'll paste it in. Mine is Robin Heron, known as Carnivorous Grandma.
Yep.
So here you go. That's her channel name if you want to go check it out. I did an interview with her, I don't know, I want to say maybe 6 months ago. And it was great. But if you go to her channel, like she does a lot of interviews, she does stuff like with cooking and showing different things there. She does actually a lot of interviews, I think, with doctors too, I've seen. So go check out her channel. It's pretty cool. But that's our first category for best small channel. Anybody else has any they want to put in the comments, go ahead and put in the comments and we'll pop it up on the screen here as well.
Brian, are we just gonna do one per category, or I thought maybe we would do maybe a second one?
You can do a second one. I only did one. I just did like by award winner, but you could do a second one.
Well, here's the problem. All these channels are so good. They have such great information. They're entertaining. I love Robin. I mean, I can't believe I didn't put her because I've watched all her stuff. I've interacted with her on like the Carnivore Roundtable back in the day. But my next one is kind of a lesser known one. The guy's only got like I think 700 or 800 subscribers, but he's fantastic. And you and I actually talked about him offline last week. It's Big Anklevich on health. On health. Big Anklevich on health. I've been following him for longer than I've been carnivore, and the guy's just really, really dynamic. I love the way he promotes the diet, and he's just entertaining guy to watch. His videos typically tend to be shorter, 5, 6, 7 minutes, but he's really entertaining. He's been, fighting the good fight for I think about 5 years now, and I love him to death. If you guys get a chance, check out Big Anklevich on health. And I think it's at Big Anklevich on health 4055. But if you just look up Big Anklevich on the search bar, I'm sure you'll find his stuff.
I'm going to get it real quick here.
Yeah, give him a subscribe, if you will. He's just a very entertaining person. He's lost over 100 pounds. He's reversed, like most of us, he's reversed sleep apnea, diabetes, heart trouble, high blood pressure. And he's just he comes across as a super sweet guy and family man. He's married and got kids, and I just love his channel. So if you get a chance, check him out, as well as all the others. Yeah, Big Anklevich. So check this guy out. Give him a sub. This guy needs to have, I don't know why he don't have 10,000 subs. He's that entertaining and that good.
Yep. Kooky agrees with you. I forget, what was the first one you had? Because I want to put their
Mine
channel
was,
up here too.
Dave Reed. Fuzzy Road to Health.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuzzy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a great guy.
I guess I could type all that in, Brian, if you want me to.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just getting it right off. I'm just getting it right off my spreadsheet.
Oh, cool. Yeah, good job. Yeah.
Pops up. There we go. So there's Dave Reed's channel, Fuzzy Road to Health.
Yeah, check him out. He's amazing.
Yep. All right. So that was our first category, best small channel. We've got 5 more categories that we're going to go throughout the evening here during this live stream. Let's see, before we go into that, I think I'm caught up on comments. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in there. Also, if you have any other channels that that particular category that you want to bring up, put them in there as well. I wanted to try something here and see how this works. So we'll see. I thought it would show up all the comments, but maybe it has to be a comment after I put it in there. So I just put this thing up on the screen. I want to see what it looks like as comments come in. Because I've seen it before where people used it, and I thought, hey, this might be kind of cool. But then it looked like it also was cutting out people's their picture, their video, and it doesn't look like it will on ours. It looks like it stops right below your name there. So I think we're okay. So we're gonna try that. Of course, right now there's nobody putting any comments in, but that's okay. So we're gonna keep that up there for a little bit and see how that goes. Do you want to go to the next category? Should we go to the next category?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going down the order that I got them in here. The next one is best large channel, more than 10K subs. And doesn't that one look larger than the small channel one did? Wait a second. It is. Look at that. Isn't that weird? I didn't plan that. I don't know how that worked. Okay. Best large channel, more than 10K subs. So I will let you go first again.
Well, I just have, let's see here. Is this large? Is this large influencer?
Yeah. So this is more than 10,000. I just said they're the large channels, even though they could be at 1 million. Who knows?
Sure. Well, my first one, and this may surprise some people, and maybe not, but this guy to me is one of the OGs. He's responsible, I think, for a lot of us through an indirect way of finding the carnivore way of eating. But my pick is going to Dante Ferrigno Freedom. I love his stuff. He's such a down-to-earth, humble guy. He was the first person I saw doing sprints. He was the first person to mention Dr. Sean O'Mara. So, and I love all this stuff. And I would like to see it. I'd like to live in a world where he makes his living being a carnivore influencer. He's still working a full-time job, but I love Dante Ferrigno. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Ferrigno Freedom, but that would be my number one.
Yep. All right. That's a good one, Dante. I didn't pick Dante, but that is a good one. I remember early on when I was doing carnivore, watching his channel. I also watched somebody else's channel, who is the person I'm going to pick here in a second. But Paul said Eric Westman, so that's Dr. Westman. That's a good one. And we do have a doctor category, by the way, so we're going to get to doctors at some point here. But I am going to put mine in here, and I know I'm making you wait while I do this, but mine, this person is kind of like, if I can, sort of like my idol within carnivore. When I first started carnivore, he was early on starting carnivore as well, and I kind of got to watch him sort of from the beginning and watch kind of his journey. But he did a lot of interviews with people and so forth, just great. And it is Dave Mack at No Carb Life, I believe is the channel name, but it's at Zero Carb. So here it is on the screen here, so you can see his channel. In case you don't already know, I bet you everybody already knows about him, because he actually, the other day, he just went past 100,000 subscribers, as a matter of fact. So congrats, Dave. But he is my pick for best large channel. Do you have a second one, like the last time too?
Dave was my next one. The thing about Dave's channel, and I'm sure everybody here, if you don't follow Dave Mack, you need to, is he has done a fantastic job. I think he's interviewed, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but had he interviewed like 1,000 people or something? 100 people?
Yeah, he's over 1,000.
And from all different countries,
1,000, if I'm not mistaken.
All different countries, all walks of life. Everybody's got a lot of similarities in their stories, and he's interviewed me twice. But the way he kind of just says, how did you find carnivore? And he lets the person give their story, their testimony, and he doesn't really interrupt. He'll prompt the conversation when it needs to, but he just gives everybody else a platform to share their testimonial. And that's the beauty of Dave Mack. I remember when he quit his full-time job, which I think was a pretty a really good job. He left his full-time employment to pursue this, and he just went for it, and God bless him. And I think he's doing pretty well, and I hope he continues to do very well. And he is a very important part of this community. But man, he stepped out on faith to quit his job and do this full time. And you know, like I know, Brian, as hard as he works, he'd probably be better off back at his job, because this is much harder than people think. And Dave is just committed to helping everybody get healthier and learn the truth about nutrition. So that was my second pick.
Yeah. Dave is great. I've interviewed with him where he's interviewed me. I've also interviewed him, but he's interviewed me probably 2 or 3 times, I think, for his channel, actually. And we've done a couple live streams, but the interviews are always so great because he's just he's very attentive, first of all. And I don't know if you noticed, but he'll take notes on certain things and then go back and ask you questions on it. So he's like the best at giving interviews. And that's like his main thing too. Like, it's not the only thing he does. He does other videos, and then he does live streams like Paul's saying here. He just came from a live stream with him and Semi-Retired Bob. They do a live stream together a lot. But that's like his big thing, is he interviews other carnivores and helps to get the word out about how many different people are out there doing carnivore and so forth. And he's so good at it. Yeah, Peter says Dave Mack is one of my carnivore heroes. I agree. So we've had a few people agree with us on Dave. So that was your second one. You only had 2, I take it, right?
Well, I had an honorable mention, but
oh, there we go. Honorable mention. Here we go.
Yeah. It was Kelly Hogan, My Zero Carb Life. She was one of the very first female influencers. She's very dynamic. She's funny. She's fun to watch. I actually met her at a meetup here in Charlotte about 1.5 years ago. She's just as beautiful in person as she is on TV or on the computer. And she just has a heart for this. And she's been carnivore, obviously not as long as Rick, but I think she's been carnivore 15, 16 years. And she does a really good job at bringing like females, older females, and people in general. But she kind of has carved out a little niche. And that's, me trying to get my sister and my wife and some of the females in my family to look at carnivore. It's not just a science bros eating steak. And I think she does a really good job of maybe bringing in an audience that I couldn't bring in or you couldn't bring in. And I love her to death. And she's a North Carolina girl. So that was my honorable mention.
Great. So question, how do you like the little chat thing here? My thinking was, because we get people from both of our channels, and if they're on one person's channel, they can't see the comments on the other person's channel. But if I put this here, you can see the comments that come from both channels. So then everybody can kind of see them. And it's not going too far up into your video. You think that works? What does everybody else think too? Let us know in the comments if you like that.
I like the fact that everybody can see every comment, because I know when I'm on watching other people's lives, people are commenting and I'm like, where did that come from? And I don't realize that they're on another channel. So I don't, so it's great that you're able to do that, and everybody's brought into the fold. I think that looks really good.
Yeah. I like it. So we'll see if anybody else got any comments on that. Okay. So we've done 2 categories. We still got 4 more categories to go. See, before we go into the 3rd category, I want to ask you, what was your day like eating wise today? Did you just eat like 1 meal, 2 meals, and what did you eat?
Today I had, what did I have? I went to McDonald's across the street. My wife left to go out of town today, so I went to McDonald's across the street, and I had 2 sausage McMuffin with egg, and I just ate the sausage and the egg. I didn't get any cheese on it, and I just threw the bread away. I had that, and I had a Diet Coke. Oops.
Oh.
And then I had to go to Sam's to buy. I buy all my grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef at Sam's. They have this 3 1-pound things kind of made together, and I went there. So while I was there, they have those Nathan's hot dogs for like $1.30. So I had 2 hot dogs with sauerkraut and mustard, and just threw the buns away. So that's all I've had today.
Okay.
And I've had a good bit of sparkling water.
Okay. I had 2 meals today. Wasn't sure after the first meal if I was going to eat again, but I did get hungry before we came on here, so I ate again. So my first meal, it was about 24-ounce ribeye, and I had a little bit of kefir and some goat yogurt with it. I'm out of my sauerkraut and cottage cheese, so I didn't have any of that, but I still had that stuff to kind of, go. It's like my dip with it, right?
Right.
And then my second meal, I made up a pound of ground beef into a couple burger patties, and I just ate that. I just ate that a little bit ago, actually, before we came on here, because I was getting hungry again. So I ended up eating about 2.5 pounds of beef today. Rick is finishing up a pork shoulder right now. And I want to go back to something else I saw in here. Rick said it was an honor to be Dave's first interview, Dave Mack. I think Rick has probably been the first interview of a lot of people. He was also the first interview on my channel. I can't even remember how many different people, but yeah, Rick is like the best person to have as like your first interview. That's great. Okay.
When Dave did that interview with Rick, if I'm remembering correctly, I had just started walking. I was trying to prepare for a 5K, and I went to this local park, and I just took off walking, and I found that interview, and I listened to it, and it went on for like an hour and a half, which was a great interview. And I was just completely taken by Rick's testimony, and I was listening and walking. And when the thing was over, I realized I never turned around. I walked 7 miles that day because I was just walking and listening. It didn't occur to me I had to turn around and walk back to my car. So when the interview was over, it's like starting to get dark, and I'm like 3.5 miles from my car out in this park in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, oh crap. I didn't realize that I was so into that interview, and hearing Rick's story about when he was a teenager and wanting to have a heart attack and being picked on at school for being so skinny. I was just listening and walking. And then when the interview was over, I looked up and I had no idea where the heck I was. Oh my gosh, I walked 7 miles that day. So Rick got me started into power walking because it was getting dark and I was in the woods. I had to run back to my car. But that was the first interview I ever heard. That was the very first carnivore interview I heard, was Rick with Dave Mack. So that's my little claim to fame with Rick and Dave there.
So when you walked back, did you listen to it again?
No.
No. Okay.
I was looking for snakes and coyotes and whatever else was going to jump out of the woods and get me because it was getting dark. And I think I did listen to some more, interviews or something on the way back, but I'd heard that one all the way through.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So let's go to our third category now. And this one is going to be Best Carnivore Doctor Channel. So I'm going to let you go first again, Johnny.
Yeah, this is probably going to come as no surprise. My first one, I have my first one, and then I have a tie for second. But my first one, hands down, is Dr. Sean O'Mara. He's a former MD. He's a former ER physician. He's really big into sprinting. That's what I got into. His whole shtick, if you will, is trying to rid your body of visceral fat. So he's into fasting. He's into sprinting. Brian, he got both you and I think, pretty much started on doing the ferments with our food to help get the gut microbiome set up to where it can actually start helping to burn the visceral fat. The subcutaneous fat, all this fat on our bodies that we can sit there and pinch, that is not dangerous. The visceral fat that gets into your heart muscle, into your liver, into your kidneys, your lungs, and your vasculature, that's the stuff that's going to kill you. And so I really started focusing on everything that Sean O'Mara was saying. He's done a couple of videos on AFib. You guys know I'm still in AFib. I'm determined by the end of this year to do everything I can to get out of AFib. But Dr. Sean O'Mara, he's passionate about this stuff, man. He's a little over the top at times, but he's just trying to get people to understand that a little subcutaneous fat is probably not a bad thing, but that visceral fat that gets into especially like into your heart, is what's going to kill you. So Sean O'Mara would be my number one pick. What about you, Brian?
So it's a good pick. I didn't pick him, but before I go to him really quick, Cynthia is here. Taking a quick break from doing some exercising. So I thought I'd say hi to Cynthia really quick.
Hey, Cynthia.
Rick's got a pick. Dr. Chafee, that's a good one.
Yep.
And we have a question here. and then I'll go into my pick. Is the Walmart rotisserie chicken carnivore. So it's chicken, right? So that's carnivore, but my hunch, and I don't know for sure because I haven't looked at it, but my hunch is there's probably some bad ingredients in it. So I think they probably still have to list ingredients if they're selling it. So check the ingredients list. I think there's probably going to be some seed oils and stuff like that. What do you think about that one, Johnny?
I don't know if there's any seed oils in there. When they do those rotisseries, Brian, a lot of the natural fat, I'm not saying it's good or it's great. It's a whole lot better than eating a bowl of oatmeal or eating a bunch of fruit smoothies or something like that. I ate a lot of chicken. When I first started this, I'd go to Costco or to Walmart or to Food Line, and I'd get those rotisserie chickens, $6. I could eat the whole thing, and I improved on that. Now, I'm to the point now, much like you, Brian, it seems like I'm eating beef almost exclusively here lately. Few hot dogs or sausages every now and then, but even the hot dogs they eat are 100% all beef hot dogs. Rotisserie chicken from Walmart is better than probably 90% of the stuff that's in a box or a package. Probably 100% of the stuff that's in boxes and packages. Maybe it's not the best, but start from where you are. If you can afford that, you enjoy it. Like Brian said, read the ingredients, see if there's anything in there that maybe you don't want. Don't forget to eat the dark meat in the skin, to get the fat. But progress over perfection is my thing. I ate a lot of rotisserie chicken when I started. I'm at the point now I feel so much better just eating beef that I'm almost 100% beef anymore. Other than bacon and eggs, it's beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and I just kind of naturally gravitated to that because that's what I enjoy and that's where I feel the best. It wasn't by design. That's just evolved to what I eat: bacon, eggs, and beef, and some butter from time to time.
Okay. Paul says for his doctor, Dr. Westman, calm, cool, and science smart. So that's a good one too.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to give mine now. Best carnivore doctor channel. And mine is Dr. Tony Hampton. He's based out of the Chicago area. And if you watch his videos, he's pretty much on point with the topic he has. Like he has a topic in every video, something that a health concern or whatever that he wants to discuss. And he's pretty much right to it, talks about it, and that's the video. There's no extra stuff, right? It's just pretty much that. I've talked to him several times. He's a very knowledgeable, caring person. He actually went to carnivore himself, and originally then after going to carnivore into his practice, he was doing more low carb. He kind of lets people decide where they fit within things, kind of in that proper human diet spectrum. He will tell you, carnivore is probably the best and here's why, but he also supports like just plain low carb in general, keto, that kind of stuff. And he'll do videos just for keto and videos for carnivore as well. But I really like him. And also he tends to be a little bit better at getting back to people, where some of the doctors are just so overloaded with comments and so forth. They can't really respond quite like how he can. So I like that about his channel. So his is at Dr. Tony Hampton, and that's why I picked his. So this is an interesting thing. Rick says, I'm having to give up beef lately. I wonder what happened there that he's not been eating beef. He's been eating too much iguana. The one he could be. Too much iguana on the road that he's fighting. It is. Okay, so did you have a second, Doctor?
I had a tie for second place.
That's right. Yeah.
So my second, the tie between the two for second, of course, first was Sean O'Mara. The next one would be Dr. Tony Hampton. I like Dr. Hampton. He's still a general practitioner. He's still practicing regular medicine, seeing patients every day in the clinic in an area where people don't have a lot of money. He's in an area in Chicago that's kind of where his heart is helping people that maybe don't have the best insurance or the best money. So I love his heart. I love that he's a compassionate human being. He's just a great guy all around. And tied with him would be Dr. Lisa Wiedemann. If you guys don't know Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, she's I think she's an ophthalmologist or an eye surgeon. And I've done several lives with her actually, and I met her a couple of times actually. Met her twice, and she's very, very passionate about this. And she talks about how so many of her patients have gone low carb or carnivore and reversed their eye issues, from glaucoma to increased pressure within their eyes and detached retinas and all this stuff. And I think that's an area that sometimes gets overlooked. We get so tied up with blood pressure and diabetes, but your eye health is pretty important. And I think she does a fantastic job of bringing that to the fore. And she's been carnivore for 15 years. She's over 50 years old, and she can still do cartwheels up and down the beach. She lives near the beach in New Jersey. So that would be my honorable mention: Tony Hampton and Lisa Wiedemann.
Okay. And her channel is at Carnivore Doctor. So I got it up there for you to see.
Thanks.
So that is another good one. Rick did, by the way, well, let me go back here. We can take that off the board. There we go. Rick did say that it was, because beef is getting too expensive. Try and get ground beef. That's the cheapest, really, out of beef is the ground beef. That's a good option, I guess. Lily Mae Patterson says, "Hey Rick, I buy bigger pieces of beef and cut it up for mini dinners." That's like what I do when I go to Costco, and I get the big slabs of either like the loin or the ribeye. That stuff can get kind of expensive though, but I could go with a cheaper cut. But I don't. But yeah, wow, my video just really went crazy there, didn't it?
Brian, where are you going? Brian, come back.
Usually this gets fixed when I go out and come back in. So I'm going to go out real quick. You can kind of talk for a second and then I'll be back.
So one thing that I do, Rick, or anybody that's watching this, Sam's right now, I don't know if you guys have a Sam's or Costco or BJ's or whatever, but I pay $5.99 a pound for grass-fed, grass-finished beef at Sam's. It's 3 1-pound containers that are kind of made together. You can cut off 1 pound or whatever. And so I can't afford grass-fed, grass-finished ribeye or New York strip or filet. That's out of my price range. But I can afford $5.99 a pound, and I usually have a pound of ground beef with some maybe some jalapeno peppers in there, a bunch of sour cream. I started putting some of that cottage cheese that Brian and I talk about, the Good Culture cottage cheese. I'll mix that into my ground beef. But that's the way I can afford to eat grass-fed, grass-finishes. It's $5.99 a pound, and every now and then I can find it where it's marked down $3 because they got to sell it that day. I have a chest freezer out in my garage, so if I find a sale on good ground beef, I'll actually put some in my freezer and then thaw it out when I can. And Brian apparently is still trying to get his camera. Just went out of focus, as you guys saw.
My camera is like out completely at this point.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm trying to figure that out, but you can keep talking. I'll be back.
Anyway, so what do you guys think? Obviously, we've seen some people talk about Dr. Westman. I think he is at Duke, I'm pretty sure. So he's a North Carolina guy. And he actually was instrumental in get them to open the ketogenic clinic at Duke University. He's a great guy. He's very monotone, so he keeps his emotions in check. He just gives you the facts and the data. And sometimes he'll bring on somebody from a different point of view of his. He'll play a section of their video, and then he'll explain his thoughts on why the carnivore way is probably a better way. Let's not forget another honorable mention, Dr. Philip Ovadia. He's a coronary heart surgeon, and Dr. Ovadia wrote a book called Stay Off My Operating Table. So for a cardiothoracic surgeon to tell you how not to come and use his business is pretty cool. So there's a heart surgeon telling you that the carnivore diet will actually keep you off his operating table. So honorable mention to all the doctors. We don't want to leave anybody out. There may be some that we don't even know about that wasn't on Brian's list, but all the ones that are on there, if you guys aren't subscribed, go check those guys out. There's valuable information all around us. Brian, you're back.
I am back. Yes. That's weird. So let's see. I'll put this up here real quick. So we've been talking about my list. Here's like a copy of what it kind of looks like. So there's category type, here, channel types. There's coach, so coaches, doctors. There's coach and health coach. I don't know what I did there that's different, but large influencer, medium influencers, nurses, practitioners, professor, recipes, people that are mostly just recipes that they do cooking and so forth on their channel, small influencers. There's like, it's over 120 on this. So if you don't already have it, I'm going to put a link in here where you can put this up here. If you go to that link, you can download it. I just put it out there that you subscribe to my newsletter. You can unsubscribe once you get the download if you don't want to stay on my newsletter. But my newsletter, I send it out once a week. In my newsletter, I will highlight like one channel every week, and I do some other things that I talk about and so forth. Funny thing is, I don't remember if it was this last week or the week before. Johnny had just mentioned that Dave Reed was one of his picks. That was one of them I had in my newsletter. It was either last week or the week before. So, you know, I'll put different channels out there. And yeah, I had like Cami. I don't know if you've seen her. Last Day of Normal, I believe is the name of her channel. Yep. I've had her highlighted in there. So it'd be great if you stayed on the newsletter. But if not, you can just unsubscribe once you get the download. But there's recipes. I forget how many. There's like a dozen or 13 recipes, something like that. Some of them are more like low carb. They have like very small amount of carbs, so like less 5 grams or less of carbs probably. And then others are completely no carb. And the recipes, so you can check those out. All right, let's see comments. I think I'm good. So let's go. We've got, so we just did best carnivore doctor channel. So this is an interesting one. Okay, so this category, best this is my journey channel. I didn't know how else to call it, but basically YouTube channel where they're showing their carnivore diet journey, right? So what do you have there, Johnny?
Well, I don't know how I missed that one, Brian. Let's see.
Why don't I go first then?
Yeah, why don't you go first, Brian?
All right. So, you know, I really went back and forth on this one with a few, but in the end, I had to go with this channel because it's just real down to earth, show everything. And this is what I really felt like with This Is My Journey was the best thing. Like they show ups, downs, all of it. And this is Carnivore Quest, Larry and Cassie. So that is my best This Is My Journey channel. Larry and Cassie at Carnivore Quest. Probably most people that are watching this already know their channel and subscribe to it, but you know, they don't sugarcoat or try and deceive anybody. You know, when things are going bad, they own up to it and they talk about it and so forth. I know Larry's had some issues where he's been up and down. There's been times that he's lost a good amount of weight and then he's gained weight back, and he's kind of at the point where he's trying to lose weight again. And he's been doing like morning lives every day and that kind of stuff. I think he's missed a few days here, but for the most part, they're every day. And I think that's a good channel for just seeing their journey. So that's mine. Are you ready to go with one?
Yeah, mine is going to be, it may not have been one of the choices, but I'm just going to put it out there. For me, it's Bill Knott. His journey, you guys know Bill Knott probably, you know, didn't go outside of his house for 4 years. I get cabin fever after a day or two. You know, if I get sick and I don't go out of the house after a couple of days, I'm just beside myself. I'm so anxious. I can't imagine being essentially locked in your house for 4 years because his health was so bad. And he went on, went on the carnivore diet. He found Carrie Mann and went on the carnivore diet, and he's lost right at 350 pounds. He's out riding his four-wheeler, and he's out, going. He lives in Alaska, the most beautiful place, I think, on earth. And, I watched the episode where he actually walked outside of his house for the first time. That was pretty emotional. So I think there's so many people that end up. There's another one I can't think of his name, but he lives in Texas, and he used to be. They did a live stream. There's 3 of them, and like 700 pounds and counting or something like that. 700 pounds down. I can't remember. And he had talked about his testimony. I'll think of the guy's name in a second.
So he had Carnivore Cure.
Could have been, yeah, but they had a thing that was like between the 3 of them, they'd lost over 700 pounds, and I think his name was Michael. Michael was his name. I don't remember his channel, but it was on Sunday. It used to come on Sundays. I don't know if it's still out there. Maybe I haven't seen it because I'm working every Sunday now. But he'd been like locked in his house for 3 years, and that is so sad. It's sad that the standard American diet, or the standard Western diet, would have somebody so unhealthy that would be locked in their house. Essentially, they're not locked in; they just don't have the ability to get up and get out for 7 years in Bill's case, and 3 or 4 years for Michael's case. But that would be mine. People that have really, really, really turned things around. And that would be just a couple of examples. I mean, we've all turned something around, right?
Yeah. So the 3 people I think that you're talking about Michael, Lindy, and Todd.
Lindy. Yeah, exactly. Todd
Lindy, has the Carnivore Cure. Yeah, Todd Bachnis. Lindy's, I forget what her name is. They're in my spreadsheet, by the way. They're in there. But yeah, and I got on the screen at Bill Knott 5811.
I don't know how I missed that category.
Address.
Thanks.
I don't know. Here you go. Michael, Todd, and Lindy. Todd is actually from Montana, not Texas. There you go. But Michael might be from Texas.
Yeah, that's
Michael might be the one from Texas. That might be what it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, that was a good category, I think. Those take both of yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So this is my journey category. Let's see. We're down to just 2 more categories at this point, which is going to be pretty cool. What do you guys think about that category? I think that's an interesting category. So in the chat, if anybody's got any other, bring it back up. This is my journey type of channel that we didn't talk about, listed in the chat so we can bring it up on the screen for everybody to see. Okay. Before we go on to the next thing, let's give chance in case anybody's got anything there. Let's see. So we already talked about what we ate today. So that's a good thing. Did you get any exercise in today? I did not.
Played 18 holes of golf. So I'm pretty sure I got 11,000 steps. I drove a golf cart and still got 11,000 steps in because I absolutely stink at the game of golf. I was all in the woods trying to find my ball, over by the lake trying to find my ball. I don't play like this. I play like this. I hit the ball to the left and then I hit the ball to the right. And I scored an amazing 136. So I'm really, really proud of that. That's kind of where I'm at. But I did get 18 holes of golf in. I didn't put a video out today, Brian, because I'm going tomorrow morning and do my sprints. And I'm going to put a video out tomorrow. It's going to kind of be a rant. And then I'm going to put my exercise at the end. So look forward to that. I did see your video today about the changing season. And ironically, tomorrow it's supposed to be in the upper 50s. So it'll be a great day for me to get up early and go do my sprints before the weather gets too hot. But if you guys haven't seen Brian's video from today about how your diet may change as the seasons change, check that out because it was thought-provoking. Another thing I thought of, Brian, and as you were doing your video, or as I was watching your video, is how much less vitamin D I will get in the fall and winter because I'm outside a lot right now. But I need to consider maybe supplementing with vitamin D or thinking about vitamin D in my food as the season changes and the sun goes down a lot earlier and we have more cloudy days. But check out Brian's video, Al.
Yeah. So you said 58. Is that the low?
Yeah.
Where you're at? Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, there's no way the high was 58 in North Carolina. Okay.
No. That's the low one.
The funny thing is, so I did this video. It was like in the 70s there for a couple days. And I did this video, recorded it the other day, yesterday maybe, or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good today too. It was like 82 or something like that. And I just looked at the forecast. The next 2 days are in the 90s. And I'm like, ah. But I did this video and I'm like, you know what? I actually, from doing the video, I'm craving my carnivore chili that's in my recipe book, by the way, that we talked about. So I'm over here like, you know, I want to eat the chili, but I don't want to eat it when it's 92 degrees. So I think like Sunday or Monday, it's supposed to be in the 70s again. So I'm going to wait a few days. I got all the ingredients I need for it, but I'm going to wait a few days before I actually go and do it. So, but yes, just doing that video got me even in the mindset of like, I want to have the chili. It's funny. Okay, I think I might have missed a question here. Oh, this was for the chicken. Okay, this is for the rotisserie chicken. I dug packaging out of the trash. Answer is yes. Saturated fat 30%, trans fat 0%, total carbohydrate 0%, zero. Good. I would still ask like, what's in the ingredients? Like, is there? Because sometimes there's stuff in the ingredients that don't really translate into the nutritional list, right? So here's one thing I do. Like when I look at different foods and whether or not I'm going to eat it or not, I look at how many ingredients there are too. And in some cases, you have this food that has like no carbohydrates to it at all or anything. Says it has no sugar. And then it's got like this list of like 30 ingredients, and like 5 of them are different fake names for sugar. So check that. Always check that. So check the ingredients. That's the biggest thing, I think. But yeah, so I don't know. It could be that it turns out that it's pretty good. And like Johnny said, it's going to be better than some processed food of some sort that you know, standard American diet. So it's still going to be better than that. It's kind of like how Dr. Barry says, right? He'll say there's nothing wrong with eating like hot dogs and bologna and stuff like that. It may not be as good as grass-fed beef. Same thing like if you're eating grain-fed beef, right? It's not as good as grass-fed beef, but it's still a lot better than the standard American diet. If that's what you can afford, that's what you eat.
Yep.
Okay. We are at category number 5. And this one is best carnivore transformation. So are you ready to go there, Johnny?
Did you send me the right thing? How did I miss that? You sent me 2 emails. Must have been on the second one.
It was the most updated email. Yes.
Yeah. I'm just going to go with the one that comes to mind. I don't know if he was one of the choices or not, but it's going to be Todd Bachris, from Montana, obviously. He was in bad shape. I think he had I know his father died prematurely, and I think he had a brother that passed away. And he's lost, I don't know, 300 plus pounds, and he's completely turned his life around. He looks different. He's just one of many. I mean, you know, you could almost throw a dart at a dartboard with a lot of the choices and come up with a good one. But we'll go with Todd on that one.
Okay. And Todd is known
Carnivore
as
Cure,
the
right?
Carnivore Cure. So it's at the Carnivore Cure is his channel. Okay. So good. I did not pick the same person, so we're good there. And Amy is here. Hello, Amy. Just got out of choir practice. Okay, so my pick for the best carnivore transformation. This is going to be Ray Hicks, known as Carnivore Ray. And it's at Carnivore Ray. I'll put it up here so you can see. Oops. I hit the wrong comment there. There we go. At Carnivore Ray. He does YouTube, mostly shorts on YouTube, and he does a lot with TikTok and stuff like that. But he lost 90 pounds. And he wasn't that big to begin with, I didn't think. But he lost 90 pounds. He works out all the time. He he looks pretty ripped. And what I like about his videos, and again, he does like a lot of shorts, so there are a lot of short videos. But what I really like about his videos is that he just doesn't care. He just comes right out and says it, right? Whatever it is. And he's like, you know, if somebody has a problem with me eating this way, I don't care. Who cares? You know? So I like that about his channel. But Carnivore Ray, I think his transformation was great. Like if you see some of the pictures of him before he started to what he looks like now, because he did the combination of working out and eating the carnivore diet, his transformation is you just got to look at the pictures. It's insane. And I don't have the pictures on me, but it's insane. So he is my pick for the best carnivore transformation. I will say though, you mentioned Todd. Todd is a great one. So is Lindy. So is Bill Knott. There's so many of them out there. But I went with Carnivore Ray. Okay.
Well, along those lines, one of the categories that you had in I guess the first email you sent me was the medium-sized influencer. That was one of the other categories.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So Carnivore Ray was my choice for medium-sized influencer because I like his stuff too. He's entertaining without being disrespectful. He makes really good points, and he looks like a superhero. I mean, he was just a regular, like you said, he wasn't super obese. He wasn't like morbidly obese. He was just kind of a regular chunky guy. But to see him now is amazing. And he's just, I don't know what it is about his presentation on his videos, his voice, and I don't know. He's just really good. And I know he's actually spoke at a couple of events recently, so he's gaining a lot of popularity, and with good reason. He is a fantastic, because let's face it, Brian, there's going to be people that are in their 20s and 30s that probably aren't going to pay attention to me and you because we're old to them, you know, but I think he can influence and help to steer maybe a younger generation than you and I could reach, at least to looking at a proper human diet. So I think he's a very important chess piece, if you will, in this game. I love him to death. He's one of my favorites. I watched all of his shorts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So I did send a different email that changed, and I didn't have that category in there, but
Okay.
we're just going to go with it. So medium influencer. I'm going to put one out here. I think everybody's going to love this one. Actually, this is Mitch at Old Guy Carnivore. So here it goes. Pops up. So there you go. Mitch. He does live streams every morning, pretty much, except I think Saturdays, because Rick does his live stream on Saturdays. And he's great. He's another one of those, he's not gonna beat around the bush. He's just gonna tell you how it is type deal. And he of course has had that stroke, and he's been going through the rehabilitation, and I enjoy watching his live streams. So I have him for my medium. I want to go back up really quick. So we're going back to the rotisserie chicken. Got it. Only thing I don't know is, and I might say this wrong because I've seen this all the time, but I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Carrageenan? Did I say that right? I've seen bad things about this, but I don't know how much is in it, so I don't know if it's going to affect you. And this might be why some people have say they can't eat rotisserie chicken, because that might be because that's in there. But I'll just say the first search you do for this says that there's potential side effects, including digestive issues like bloating, diarrhea, and gas, as well as inflammation and impaired glucose tolerance. So that is something could be a concern. It might depend on how much is in it. If it's a very small amount, you might be okay. But I guess just eat it, and you can also just eat it and see if it gives you trouble, if you notice trouble. So I'll say that. Going back to Mitch, Amy says yes. What you got?
I just pulled it up. I just Googled carrageenan as a hydrocolloid, a natural thickener and stabilizer extracted from red seaweed. So it's plant-based. It's widely used in food, beverage, and personal care. Probably not the best, but like Brian said, it may only have a fraction of it in there. It's a thickening thing, I guess, so the chicken doesn't get too dry. like I said earlier, I ate a lot of when I first started, I probably ate stuff that, like, I ate sugar-free barbecue sauce when I first started. And go back and read the ingredient list on sugar-free barbecue sauce. You might as well just eat the sugar. But it still got me to where I'm at today. So I'll say, don't let perfection ruin progress. But for me, I found that eating beef is just works for me. But there are some people out there, Brian, that can't eat egg yolks, and there are some people that can't eat egg whites. There are some people that can't eat cheese because of the histamines. I don't have a problem with any of that, and I don't think you do either. But there are some people that, so it's really kind of specific to what you can tolerate. That carrageenan might not be too bad for you. I just know when I ate the rotisserie chicken, an hour later I was hungry again. So it didn't really help me. You know, it was something to eat, and it was relatively inexpensive and really, really convenient. But I would usually have that at 4, and by 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock, I'd eat something else. So that's kind of why I got away from it.
I have that same problem with any type of chicken. When I eat it, it doesn't keep me filled up as long. And maybe it's because it's leaner. I don't know.
Right.
But when I eat beef, I tend to be full for a longer period of time. So I do have that same problem with chicken. I'd even say with pork, the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that whole ruminant.
So Amy, though, what's that?
It's that whole ruminant thing.
Yeah. I think so. So Amy says she loves Mitch. Again, you know, great channel, does live streams every morning pretty much. Check him out if you don't already follow him. Did we have another category that maybe you had that I didn't do? We've got one more category left that I want to keep for the end, I think, because it's Carnivore Pioneer Award that we're going to give out. But was there another category before that?
Nurse on there. One of the categories was like a carnivore nurse. And for that one, I picked Laura Russell. I think she has a really good channel. She's an RN. I don't know if she's still practicing, but she may still be, but she's an RN. And then Nisha was the second choice on there. That's Dr. Barry's wife. She's really good too. But I see a lot more of Laura Russell stuff than I do any other nurse, I guess. So that was in one of the other categories, Brian, just a carnivore nurse. Maybe somebody that's not a doctor but still works in healthcare.
So at Healthy Carnivore is Laura Russell's channel. So if you want to go check her out, if you don't already know about her, I interviewed her probably 6 months ago or something. It was a great interview, very knowledgeable. I really enjoyed her story about she had a doctor that she went to and basically told her that eating the way she was eating, I don't know if it was low carb or carnivore yet at that time, was going to kill her. He told her that. And so many years, like 10 years later, she was doing, she was in the ER, and he came in with a heart attack. And she talked to him and so forth. And in the end, he ended up calling her, texting her or something, and getting information from her and switching to low carb. So I thought that was great. That you brought up Nisha. Let me bring up Nisha's channel. I would probably be, I didn't pick on these, but I would probably pick the same two channels. Nisha is Dr. Barry's wife, as I think you said. And her channel is at Nisha Celis Barry. I'd watch her channel actually a lot. And it's interesting because for some reason she gets a lot of flack for the way she eats, because she's not 100% carnivore. She's more like ketovore type, where she will eat almost all, like she'll have beef or something, and then she'll have like a little bit of avocado or something. And she gets flack for that for some reason. I don't know why. And she keeps saying, like, I know my husband is carnivore, but I am more ketovore, and I'm telling you that, you know. And she's like, has to repeat it all the time, which is interesting. But
Sure.
I like watching her channels because she talks a lot about what she's eating for that day or whatever. And I think she's got Dr. Barry starting to do a little bit of videos now about what he eats in a day, which is kind of cool. So that's a good one. Amy says Laura still works with in-home care. There you go.
Wow. Yep.
Bill is here.
Hey, Bill.
Here we go. Bill. Hello, Bill. Okay, so that catches us up there. Do we have another category? Or are we just on to the last category?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
That was all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Should we go to the last category now? Let's just go into it. Why not? We're an hour into this.
I just want to say one thing really quick, if I can, Brian. If anybody out there has some extra air fryers, send them to Mitch. Mitch needs more air fryers. It's a joke. He keeps getting all these companies sending him these air fryers. He's got like 25 air fryers. These companies keep sending him these air fryers for him to test out on his channel. And he has no room for himself because he's just forever getting these air fryers. And so it's kind of a running joke. He needs just one more air fryer. Anyway, that was a poorly timed joke, but it was if you watch Mitch's stuff, you'll see that he just keeps getting these during cooking utensils, mostly air fryers, and it's almost become comical. Anyway, I digress.
Okay. So are we ready for this last category? This category I think is special because they don't have to necessarily be a big YouTube channel or anything like that. But Carnivore Pioneer Awards, someone who has been living this way and sharing the carnivore lifestyle for a long time, right? So I kind of got this idea, like, you know, you have like the music awards and they have like the so-and-so Pioneer Award or something. It's somebody that's been big in the music industry for so long. So there's a couple of people that really come to mind here. But I want to see who you got first. So go ahead.
Mine's got to be Rick. It has to be Rick. 41, or actually 42 years now, right? So everybody says this is not sustainable. You can't do it long term. You're going to have all types of health problems. And, you know, we had Rick on the show last week, and Rick is demonstrating every day of his life that this is very sustainable. Rick is a pioneer in this. Rick did this when he didn't have a community to share it with. He was probably looked at cross-eyed by most people in his life, his whole life, and he never gave up. He did try vegan for a little while, but that was, he said on his video today, for a completely different reason. But I mean, how can you argue with 42 years of success? His testimony, haven't been to a doctor since the 90s, hasn't been to a dentist since the 80s. He's one of the healthiest guys. I watched him do yard work today. I had to pause it, Rick, because I had to catch my breath. You were working so hard, talking and sweeping and pushing and raking and all. And so mine's going to be Rick Charger Mopar.
Okay. So there is an honorable mention one here I'm going to mention first, and that is Maggie, the rancher up in Canada, right? I'm pretty sure she doesn't do social media. But she's been on like Dr. Anthony Chafee's channel. A few other channels have had her. I think she's in the Healing Humanity documentary even and stuff like that. So that's an honorable mention one for me, because since she was like 17 or something like that, and she's like 82 years old now. But I also went with Rick. If you don't already know, it's at Charger Mopar is his channel, but had to go with Rick. Like all the things that you said, you know, he's been out there for the longest time, way before it was known as the carnivore diet. And when he just said, I'm gonna eat all meat, basically, you know, and you know, if you've ever watched any of his interviews, you get the whole story of what went into it. You alluded to a little bit of it earlier and so forth. But yeah, that's Rick's the godfather, I guess, the guy, right? The guy that's been there forever. Didn't even know that there was a thing that would someday be called carnivore when he started doing it. And he's really, him and Maggie are the two people that you can really point to anytime you hear somebody say, what about long term? What about it? Maggie, Rick, 42 years for Rick. Maggie, I think, was 65 years now, something like crazy like that. And they're perfectly healthy. So that takes us through our categories. Let me catch up. I see some comments in here, I think. Rick the Quack wins it. The lady you're thinking about is Maggie. Did I not say Maggie? I said Maggie,
you
right?
did. Yeah, you did.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, Maggie, I think she was 17. She's now 82 or 83. So Rick is the OG carnivore. Yes, original gangster. Yep. Yeah, Rick. That takes us through like all of our categories for awards. I thought this was kind of fun.
Yeah.
What did you think? Like coming up with the different awards, the different channels and so forth. Did you like doing this?
I did. And the problem I ran into, because I think I emailed you or I texted you at 4:00 today. So I sat down and you sent me the link, and I probably, like I said, you sent me 2 links. I clicked on the first one. I probably should have clicked on the second one. But I found a lot of channels that I wasn't that familiar with that I hadn't subscribed to. So I went on and I subscribed. I watched 1 or 2 videos, liked them, so you opened up a whole new group of people that I can go on there and watch for motivation, inspiration, and information. I thought it was great. And I thought it was great how you and I didn't coordinate our answers. We could have picked the same one, but we didn't. And you had your reasons for your picks. I had my reason for my pick. So it was pretty cool that we didn't orchestrate that between the two of us. We let it be just kind of organic.
Yeah. Yep. We had a great carnivore awards this year. Yes, I agree. What did everybody else in the audience think of us doing these awards? And I think that we should do this again sometime where we get different categories and so forth. It's funny because when we first started talking about doing this was like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's gonna take us some time to really come up with this. And I feel like the time went by so fast that there wasn't enough time to come up with some really good categories that maybe we could have done. So maybe we do this again sometime where we can really add more categories to it. Cookie says you guys did a great job. Your choices. This was fun. Thanks.
I just want to say, Brian, thank you, because you put all this together. Actually, I didn't do any of this, and I think I counted up on the first email you sent me. There was 127 channels. I think it was 127, 128 that you came up with. You had the links for every one of them. You had the person's name. You did a ton of background work on this, and I appreciate that. There were some that are inactive, and for me, I eliminated the inactive ones because I don't know if you go watch their videos, if they would even know that you watched it. So maybe it was unfair on my part. I just wanted to do the active ones. My channel went inactive for a while when I gained a bunch of weight. So I can understand why people would not want to continue to push carnivore or talk about carnivore on YouTube if they're going through personal struggles like I did. But I just eliminated all the inactive ones. And if those people, come back and start doing it again, we'll put them back on there. But like, for example, Greg is a friend of mine, friend of yours. I love Greg to death. I got a chance to meet him and his wife. He had great videos, but he's got a lot of other things going on in his life right now. So I understand him putting this on hold. I feel like I'm filling his seat here, but that's just an example. There's great channels out there that maybe those people aren't posting a lot right now. But there's still other great channels out there that maybe are kind of inactive.
Yeah. And I'm going to put up here really quick for anybody that doesn't already have it, how they can get, because I don't think I mentioned this yet. So if you go to this link, you can get my carnivore database. It's a list of YouTube channels. Like he said, I think it's like around 120. It's over 120. So 127, 128 sounds about right. There are some inactive ones in there. And I did think that it was important to have them in there because they might have old videos that somebody might relate to, even if they're not posting anything new. So that's why I put them in there. But I have them also listed in their category. Like if I go back to this, right? See, there's active, inactive. So you can sort by, and you can remove the inactives if you don't want them or whatever. So there's different ways to do that. But anyway, that's the link. It's the same thing as my recipes. It's going to put you on that same mailing list. And then if you're already on that mailing list and you get my newsletter once a week, if I update that database, when I update it, it'll be included in like the next email or something in that newsletter. So you already be able to get it that way. But anyway, that's how you can go to get it, to download it. And it's a good source. Like if you want to look and see what channels are out there that maybe you don't know of, or, you know, you're going to have, instead of binging Netflix or something, binge some YouTube and learn from different people. There's different doctors on there, nurses and so forth. So there's some good stuff in there. All right. Where are we at?
Brian, can I give a special shout out, kind of my own special category here that I kind of came up with?
Yes.
So there's a guy that I started following. I actually found him on Facebook, and he's been interviewed by some of the bigger channels. He's battling stage 4 colon cancer, I believe. His name is Anthony Hayduk, Hayduk. And he and I have been corresponding a pretty good bit back and forth in the comments, and how he DM'd me one time. Just a fantastic guy. Tends to use a little salty language, what a lot of the people on YouTube do. It doesn't bother me. He's an adult, but he is he's really working hard to beat this cancer diagnosis. He's working out. He's doing cold plunges. He's found his faith, and he lost his father to a very similar diagnosis, and he's doing everything he can to keep his body healthy. He walked away from chemotherapy. He said, "I'm done with that. It's not working." He had some really bad side effects from chemo, and he just decided to use nutrition, just kind of all the natural path, natural ways to try to deal with the cancer. And right now he's doing great. Prayer that he continues to do great. Since he's doing the natural way of healing, his insurance won't pay for any of it. So he does have a GoFundMe account. If you pull up his YouTube or his Facebook, I'm sure you can find that on there. It's crazy that the insurance, he said the insurance company spent over $2 million on therapies that didn't work, that was killing him. But now that he's doing things that are working, his scans prove they're working, his tumors are shrinking, insurance won't pay for any of that, which I thought was a head scratcher. But anyway, Anthony Hayduk is his name. You can, his channel, I think, is Make Cancer My BITCH. But if you just pull up Anthony Hayduk on YouTube, what an inspirational guy. I've just kind of fallen in love with his story. He had a person that he was another cancer patient that he was working with, and she recently passed away. She had a YouTube channel too. And I apologize, Anthony, if you see this, I can't remember her name, but that really hit him really hard. Somebody he was kind of going through this regimen with, and she ended up passing away. But right now he's doing great. The guy looks like he looks like a longshoreman. He's got big muscles. He works out. He's doing chin-ups and all kinds of stuff. He's doing cold plunges. But check out Anthony Hayduk. He's only in his 30s, and when he's doing the chemotherapy, Brian, his beard turned gray and his hair turned gray. He looked like a very old man, and that's his profile picture, is his before and after when he was doing chemo. Then when he quit chemo, now he's starting to look more his age. But it was crazy how conventional cancer treatment was aging him terribly. And when he walked away from that, went to a carnivore diet, exercise, grounding, sunshine, cold plunge, all that stuff. It looks like he's kind of back to looking like a person his age should look. So that's my little special shout out for this a new channel. He's only got, I think, 300 or 400, maybe 500 subscribers. But his story it's touched me so much. He's such a great guy. I love interacting with him in the comments, especially on Facebook and so forth. So give him a look if you guys will, and give him a sub and watch his videos and give him some likes and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one. I know I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I see his posts on Facebook. For some reason, I just looked. I don't have him in my database. And this is the thing. Like, I have 120 something, and I know I'm still missing people. So I got to add him to that database. And that's why like I'm always going to be adding to that database probably. So I'm going to have to add him to the database. And he'll have to go into like version 3, because I'm already on version 2 because I had a few other channels that I added. I think originally I had like 110, and then I added like 15 or 16 more, whatever. So where I'm at now. So that's definitely a good one. Amy said Brian just watched your interview on Dave Mack. Amazing. Thank you. I'm guessing that might have been the most recent one. I'm not sure because I've done a few of them with him. But yeah. Cynthia says, I would recommend Grandma's Crochet Corner. She's at the beginning of her journey and is a sweetie. She posts often and has late night lives crocheting and chatting about carnivore. I don't think I know that one either, so I'm going to have to look that one up as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a note on that. I need to put a couple of notes here. So, Grandma's Crochet Corner. And again, like I know that there's channels I'm missing and I want to keep adding to that database. So if anybody knows the stuff that I've missed, go ahead and let me know. And I'm going to add Anthony, a note for Anthony so I can get his added as well. All right. And here, Johnny put Anthony's name in there so you can look his channel up. Rick's going to make a list of his favorite farming channels. All right. Those were our awards. And again, like I said before, I think that we should do this again sometime. I think people like this too. So we'll do that. And we'll make sure that we plan more than just 2 weeks in advance because that 2 weeks went really fast. So we'll have to plan pretty good amount and come up with some really good categories, come up with some out of the box type of categories and so forth too, right? So it's just not like you're, doctor channel, small channel, large channel. Let's come up with some out of the box category ideas. Anybody has any ideas for categories as well, put it in the chat. Or just comment in, if you wanted to put the comment in our actual video or whatever, so that we can include that next time. So let's see where we're at. Anything else you want to talk about tonight, Johnny?
No, I'm gonna post a video tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm going to do some sprints tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but went and played golf instead. So be back out there sprinting tomorrow, and I'm going to have a video out tomorrow afternoon. A little bit of a oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. A little bit of a rant, kind of a rant at the beginning of my video. Something I'm kind of frustrated about. So I'll have that on there, and then of course at the end I'll put some AI music and show me running up and down a field. So if you want to check that video out tomorrow, it should be out tomorrow, probably 3 or 4 o'clock Eastern time on my channel. That's about all I got there.
Good, cool. I had I had a video that came out this morning. I usually come out with videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings, and then we do the live every Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Johnny and I here on the live. Sometimes we have a special guest. Last week we had Rick, which was great having Rick on, right? Rick was our first guest, right? First special guest. Mm-hmm. There you go. Rick's always the first interview always for somebody. He was our first special guest. So who is John on here? So you're talking about Johnny right next to me. This is the Carnivore champion. And I got a thing for his channel here. Let me find it. There we go. At the Carnivore champion. So that's how you can get to his channel, at the Carnivore champion.
I appreciate you. You want to watch an old guy run up and down a field, sometimes barefoot, I'm your guy.
Category comment, your biggest surprise since you started.
That's a good one.
Yeah. When you make Rick the first, you become the best. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
I enjoyed your video today, Rick. I had to take a break. You were sweeping and raking and cleaning up around his house and talking the whole time, and I had to pause it so I could catch my breath. I was exhausted watching him.
I haven't seen that one yet. He had the one a couple of days ago, though. He does a lot of them on his bike, right? Where he's going places. This is the one I think where you had to get home because it was going to start storming. But there was a couple of different times that you had to stop for something, and I noticed how like your voice didn't change whether you stopped or started back up. Like it's like you don't get out of breath. It's crazy. It's just crazy to me. He's always talking to himself when working. Amy says Rick was my first interview on my channel too. So easy to interview Rick. He likes to talk. Yeah. Rick is a great interview. I remember he was my first interview. My channel was fairly new. I had done some videos already, but I wanted to start doing some interviews and so forth. And I reached out to him, and man, I was probably horrible at doing interviews at that point. So I'm glad that he was able to deal with me and still make the interview pretty cool, pretty great. It's still one of my better viewed interviews on my channel. So that's pretty cool. It was the first one. And I know I wasn't very good at giving interviews, and asking questions and so forth back then. So thank you, Rick, for making that video as good as it was, because it sure wasn't me. What else we got here? Yes, Rick says he never gets out of breath. I noticed that. It's just crazy to me because I do. Like I get out of breath, I could just walk in up and down the steps or something a couple times and I'm like, okay, I'm out of breath here. Like I can really feel it. And Rick's, he's over there rides a couple miles and there's no difference. It's crazy. All right. So we're closing in on an hour and a half, maybe end a few minutes early tonight than what we normally do. That's okay. We'll be back next Wednesday, 8:00 p.m., 7 p.m. Central. We don't really have a category or a topic yet in mind, do we, Johnny?
No, I had some things I was stewing on. I'll get with you in the next couple of days and see what you think. But I have a couple ideas swimming around. But as of right now, we don't have a specific topic. But of course, Brian, you'll put something out and I'll put something out between now and next Wednesday, kind of letting everybody know what we're gonna focus on, like we always do.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye.
See you next week.